You know, you should actually do a panoramic walk around of this place.
All right. Let me. I told you how I have it arranged. All right.
Okay.
So these are all the rigs in which you,
Oh,
Farhan, have had
okay.
a big
Really?
influence. So we'll start here.
Okay.
All right. Obviously, this is my first BITX module.
BITX module, yeah.
And this is the VFO.
Right, this is the, yeah.
And I decided to make it the extroverted BITX.
Okay.
And I put the heat sink on here. But I think that what's the evolution is going to be is that I'm going to take this off and put it inside, protect it. I'll keep it with the VFO. Go like this, look.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
Pretty good with your mechanics.
And look at that. It's wound on the coat hanger.
Oh, really?
The coat hanger core.
Yeah.
But it's and there are no active components in here.
Okay. The actives all here.
All the actives are in there.
It's like the good old valves.
Yep. And so it keeps everything nice and stable. And then this is the thing. Look at my frequency readout. This drives Pete Giuliano crazy.
Yeah,
look at that.
that.
Dymo tape.
Dymo.
Look, a stable arrow. An arrow that points you right there.
Right.
But it works quite well. This is another one. This was given to me by a guy, and you can see your markings on that.
Yeah.
Your markings. This one he gave.
That's mine. That hash like F is mine.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then we have this one, and he gave this to me, and I haven't figured out what to do with it yet. But we're going to put
Who
this.
signed this? Me or Uma? It's not signed at all. What's that?
That's it over here.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's me.
That's you. Okay. This is my BITX microphone. That's the microphone element that you get.
Okay.
Ergonomically designed.
Oh wow.
Look at that for comfort. And then transmit.
Oh really?
Transmit. Receive. Right there. So it goes through that.
So the rack chewers.
Yeah, that's it. Here is a BITX 60.
Oh, that's in a heat kit box.
No, wait a second. This is my SI5351 box.
Oh.
All purpose.
Oh wow.
Right?
Okay.
So VFO, and then I could change it with that.
That's neat.
So I've got in there, and so every time I want to build a new rig, I don't have to go through all the gyrations of the SI53.
Do both of them have exactly the same amount of output?
What do you mean? The VFO and the VFO?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, you could set it.
Then you could actually mix both of them together in a coupler, hybrid coupler, and do two-tone testing.
Wow. All right. That's something else.
Yeah.
But this one's set up for 60, and it's got some software in it. You know, we have 5 channels on 60 meters here.
Oh.
We have to go 5 channels precisely.
Yeah.
So it only tunes those 5 channels.
You've got just 3.
And when I throw the switch up, it scans. It spends 3 seconds on each.
Okay.
And when I find somebody talking,
you just
go like that. Okay. But that feeds into the VFO and BFO of.
Oh wow!
There you go, another one, right? And the only thing I had to do is I had to modify the low pass filter. No, the band pass filter.
The band pass filter.
You should just
bypass it. See, cut it from there and cut it from here.
Yeah, but all we had to do is we figured out a way that we just had to put a couple additional caps across, and it was fine.
Okay.
And then the low pass filter was fine too because it was cut for 7 megahertz.
You know, the thing to do is knock this entire thing off. It's completely useless.
That amplifier.
Yeah, just knock it off and make this into a low pass filter. So you can, because it's 12 megahertz, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could go from 0 to 8 without requiring a band pass filter at all.
All right, we'll do that next. All right, let's stand over here and I'll show you some more. This is the latest project.
Okay.
This is what Pete calls the DIFX. It's different from a BITX. As he said, we're building so many rigs, they're all BITXs. We got to do something different.
Okay.
So based on his input, I did this. And it started out with, look at that little OLED screen. Isn't that nice?
Hey, that's nice.
Isn't that cute? Look at that.
Does it generate any noise?
It is a little bit noisy. You're right about that.
But I think you did the active decoupling.
I did the active decoupling, but I think I also need to add some shielding.
That's so beautiful.
It's such a mess. It's horrible.
How do you cut the...
He's such a diplomat. I mean, it's a mess. Because let me tell you, this is one of those rigs that came together by spontaneous construction. You know, there's spontaneous combustion.
Right.
The fire just sort of starts.
Yeah.
So this started with the OLED thing. So I made my own shield. There's the Arduino. There's the shield.
Okay.
There's the SI5351.
Oh, wow.
And I built that just to see if I could get the OLED working.
Oh, really?
And then once I got that working, I said, well, I have to do something with it. So I said, let me make an SSB receiver.
Okay.
So there's 2 NE602s, an NE602 there, and an NE602 over here, right?
Okay.
And there's the crystal filter,
right,
at 11 megahertz.
Okay.
Right. And so I put those there, and now I have an input front end, which is, you know, and the HF mixer,
Okay.
and then I have the IFAM and BFO.
Okay.
So there it is. Now,
Right.
so all of this you could say is DIFX, and this is
Right.
DIFX.
This is
But
DIFX.
here's where the elements of BITX come in.
Okay.
I really like the RF amplifier that you have
Okay.
in the module.
Okay.
So stable,
Right.
right? So I reproduced it here. Look, this is a much larger
Oh.
version.
Oh, the same thing.
This is the
Right,
same
right.
thing. The IRF 510 is bolted to the
Okay,
chassis as a
okay.
heatsink, but that's a much larger
Yeah,
version
right.
of it. And I really like the AF amplifier.
Okay.
So this is the AF
Oh,
amplifier.
that's
there,
AF amplifier. Right.
So there is definitely
Yeah.
quite a bit of
Different.
Farhanism in here. Now, the
This
tour,
is the one.
tour continues. This
Yeah,
this
this
is
is the-
my first. No, this is
Your DSB
my
transfer.
DSP
Yeah.
transceiver, the very first
Yeah.
phone transceiver that I ever
Look at
made.
that.
I think.
Is that a
Nice?
velvet drive?
Yeah,
Oh,
look.
it's just I thought this was a velvet drive. It looked like that.
No. This is,
Okay.
I hadn't discovered vernier or reduction drives yet.
This is from Dan's small parts.
No, I think that just came out of a
Okay.
junk box.
All right.
No, wait, no, that's just
no,
out of a junk
yeah.
box. Yeah.
This
All right.
one saw
But
the-
look,
that's- that's-
this here.
Oh,
look at
that's a
that,
J-bot.
a J-bot.
Oh, wow.
There you go. So even back then. Now, that was not the original RF amplifier I had. in
Okay.
there. I had another RF amplifier in there that was just horrible. But so when the J-bot came along, I said, it's time for me to J-bot this rig.
Okay.
And I have a real emotional connection to this rig because this was the first phone rig. I put this on the air from the Azores.
Right.
And sunspots were good. And with just the 5 watts out from this thing, I was working Australia,
Oh, really?
Tristan da
How many
Cunha.
miles is that from?
It's 11 or 12,000. It's
Okay.
as far as you can go because if you go, if you
Yeah.
go any further, you're coming around.
Yeah.
But and I was right at the antipodes from Sydney.
Oh, okay.
So wherever they were pointing their antenna, they were pointing at me.
Okay.
Alright, so that's that. Now, here we come to the first BITX that I made.
Oh,
This is the BITX 17. Now this is a little shielding.
Oh, that's a shield. Okay.
I just put a little shielding around the mic amp. I don't
Okay,
need that,
Okay.
but
Okay.
you're gonna kick out of this. There's your
Wow.
circuit.
Yeah.
Now this one was for 17,
Okay.
and
That's a VXO?
this is the VXO.
Super VXO.
Switch.
No,
No,
okay,
a
fine.
regular VFO. I'm just
Okay.
switching between the
All right.
crystals. So between the two crystals, I can tune most of the phone band. As a matter of fact, this was my original frequency readout.
Okay.
So you can see with one crystal it was
Yeah.
17.124.
Okay.
The other crystal was 17.142.
Right.
And so you can see I went from 18.122 all the way up to the top of the band, 18.168.
Right.
And I used to put this
Okay.
right here. But then they forced me to get modern, and I came up with,
Oh, wow.
this is the digital display from Sanjian from China,
Okay.
12
Okay.
bucks, and that just
Is that
goes in and hooks up to the VFO right there.
Does it generate any noise of its
No,
own?
very quiet, very quiet.
Wow.
But I couldn't. Listen.
Hmm.
I'm such a purist.
Hmm.
I couldn't bear to put it in this box,
So you put it.
so I put it outside. So it's banished.
Hi, do you take a little milk and sugar?
No,
or
nothing at all.
Just
Completely
the,
black.
just
Yeah.
the tea. Okay, you take a little milk and
Okay,
sugar.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Anyway, so that was my
Okay.
and also on this you'll notice in the AF amplifier down here,
Right.
no chips.
Oh.
Even then.
Oh, wow.
So I went with the arts design where you have the complementary
Yeah,
pair
right.
and the little diode for the bias.
Yeah.
I love this rig, Farhan, and I want you to sign it.
Oh, wow.
Right here,
With
right,
pleasure.
whatever you want. Your name, call sign, something,
Okay.
whatever. Maybe the date. Put the date too. The 21st. Farhan signing the rig.
Yay.
This is Farhan's.
Yeah, and this is what.
Thanks, honey. Honey, say hello to the SolderSmoke community. Thanks, Rig.
What's it today? Today is
The 21st. Yeah, May 21st. All right, now, as Rex Harper would say, this rig now has additional mojo. We made it here. May the smoke forever rise. Ashhar Farhan. All right, excellent. All right, continuing the tour.
Okay.
This rig has really nothing to do with you, but this was my very first homebrew transmitter.
Oh, really?
This
Just a
is
push
out
pull,
of
is it?
QRP Classics.
Okay.
No, it's two MRF of what 465, 454s in parallel.
Okay. Okay.
And this is out of QRP Classics.
Oh,
This
okay.
was the rig that they designed. W1VD designed it. And
Right.
It was the
JRAS Groove.
right, and it was designed originally to be kind of exported to hams
This
around
was
the
the
world.
this was the Goodwill transceiver.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
I spent a lot of time trying to get the receiver going, and I just couldn't find a audio transformer.
All right.
So
Well, I kept this one, and as a matter of fact, I at one point chopped off one of the
oh, okay.
the power amplifier and used it in this rig,
Oh.
but then I rebuilt it and got it going anyway. This is the first one, so I really like this one.
Yeah.
Now this, you're gonna have trouble recognizing it, but this is Farhanism also.
Really?
This is your McDonald's restaurant straw
Oh,
signal
the
generator.
signal generator.
Right. I really like that idea,
Yeah.
and I liked especially the idea that you use as the core for the for the coil
Yeah.
a McDonald's straw.
Right.
So I originally built it using a straw,
Okay.
but then I realized that I had this old Heathkit generator,
Oh,
and
that's
all
those-
this thing does is switches these coils,
Wow.
right?
That's
It
amazing.
switches the coils, and it takes you down from like 100 kcs all the way up to 30 megs.
I'm
right?
actually eyeing one of these at the
So what I did was where you hooked up the coil with the
right.
McDonald's
Yeah,
straw,
yeah. You just
I hooked
seen
up
this.
that.
Man, I
And-
should do this actually.
For a long
I
time,
need
this.
to do this. I need to go back.
Look
and
at
do
this.
this.
I'm giving the master an idea here.
I need to do this.
This was so much fun, and it's a beautiful piece of gear. I mean, this whole coil arrangement.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's it's shielded quite nicely. I run it off.
I actually saw one of these at the flea market. This and there was a voltmeter. I thought I should pick both of them up.
But I got rid of the old big old
Yeah.
power supply. Somebody send Farhan an SG6 or an SG8. He needs one. But I run it off 12 volts.
Okay.
And for a long time, this was my one and only signal
Signal
generator.
generator.
Before
Yeah.
before we got
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
this fancy gear from China. All right, and then what else to show you here? Well, that completes the tour of Farhanism.
What other
test
test
gear?
test
Well, we
gear?
got the Rigel. I think this one you have
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Pete's got one too now.
Oh, okay.
This is my LC meter from Almost All Digital Electronics.
God bless his soul.
Yeah, I know he's gone, but I mean, I use this on every single project.
This has become a classic.
It's amazing.
Those who have should hang on to it and
I
pass
know.
it on to the
And
grandchildren.
somebody should figure out a way to come up with something
Yeah,
similar.
yeah.
This is my signal generator,
Okay.
my Field Tech,
All right.
and it's quite useful. I mean,
Okay.
it comes on. It can go down into the audio range. It's got dual outputs. It can
two outputs,
sweep.
is it? Okay.
It's also got a frequency counter in it.
Oh, all right.
All right.
That's not bad.
I like it a lot.
How are the harmonics?
It's pretty clean.
Okay.
It's pretty
Did you
clean.
try it on the Regols?
I watch it on the scope too, and the waveforms really
No,
come.
not the waveforms. It also has a small spectrum analyzer built in.
Right, with the FFT. You've used it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, Tony Fishpool and others tell me it's not a proper
No.
spectrum analyzer.
Yeah, but
But it gives you an idea.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
gives you an idea. You
40
see-
dB range.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a frequency counter that I picked up in London,
Okay.
the Kempton Park Rally.
Oh, all
I
right.
picked it up, and one of the chips was bad. It was one of my only instances
Oh.
of successful logic troubleshooting. I
Okay.
figured out what chip was bad,
Wow.
which was a major achievement for me. But then Tony Fishpool sent me the replacement chip,
Oh, wow.
and
That's not bad.
it's one of those complicated chips where it's a double-sided board.
Okay.
So you've got all those chips on one side,
Oh, and on the other
side,
side.
and all that chip.
Okay.
And I soldered it in upside down.
Oh, wow.
That was a famous story.
Wow.
The SolderSmoke listeners love that story because then I had to unsolder it,
Why?
flip it over,
Okay, and then put it back.
and it works. So yeah. I also picked this up at the Kempton Park Rally. This is just an old,
Oh, it's
a current limited power supply. I think Tony Fishpool sent me the chip for that also.
Okay.
And some additional power supplies down here. My soldering station, a temperature controlled iron, I like that. A bunch of little signal generators. It's a mess, but it's an organized mess.
No.
I know where everything is.
Yeah. You got very good illumination.
Yeah, well, this is all just improvised too.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it would be better if the illumination was a little bit further back,
Further back.
because I find myself sometimes working. And,
Yeah, and your head gets in the way.
Yeah, you need something shining from the back.
Yeah. I have actually a tube light
Yeah.
running the length.
Yeah.
And at times I push it with my head so that it moves away. It's just hanging.
one of the things I love about the shack, Farhan, and I'm sure you got the same thing in yours, but there's so much of the kids and the family
Yeah,
in
yeah.
here. So I have Maria's 6th grade school project.
Okay.
This is
You got the rockets, yeah.
this is the something I made with Billy when he was 3. All their projects and stuff. The rockets. We recently sent the rocket up. That's the
Yes,
rocket.
I saw
you can see the
video of
the camera.
Right.
Yeah, the camera right
Oh,
there.
that's a camera.
Right.
Okay.
And then over here, look, this is my favorite example of the enduring presence of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
All of my parts are kept in these things.
Oh,
The baby wipes.
really?
Yeah, they're all still in here. I mean,
Wow.
Billy's 19.
Yeah.
We haven't used these in a while, and but all the parts are still in here. So I sometimes I remind them when they come in. And okay, let's continue the tour.
Yeah.
Over here. A big library. I think the library is pretty good.
Oh,
And I tell people it takes a library.
I got this from him signed,
Wonderful book.
and I got the EMRFD signed by 2 authors. Don't
Great.
go back to my bag, it's in there.
I have another one for you.
And I met with Jack.
They just
Udom.
they just sent that to me.
Oh,
Tom Gallagher from ARRL sent that to
Right,
me. Beautiful book.
yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
And then all the parts and the sorted stuff.
Do you buy your parts in bulk and keep them just in case, or do you
Sit down.
buy
Let's
on?
sit down for a while. So they make yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'll move the camera so we'll get back in the shot here.
Yeah.
So we're going to discuss your rigs that you brought with you.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Get you in here. There you go. All right. But I don't know. I just kind of buy from a whole bunch of different sources
Okay.
and don't really have any. I usually, if I buy a part, I'll buy 3 because if
Okay,
I
yeah.
need one, I need some more. But a lot of stuff is a lot of Hamfest. We just rummage around. Here's look. Let me show you. Yet another BITX. This is the BITX. Watch this. Watch. Hold on. This is cool. The Digitia.
Oh, this is the okay.
All right.
Yeah.
This because this uses the termination insensitive amps.
Right.
And I say digi because it's got the SI53
SI53.
51. But you like this one. You can see the kind of the evolution of my I guess my kind of radio craftsmanship, because you get better every time you build a rig.
Yeah. Oh man. Wait, I need to.
All right, so I like the wooden boxes. We can get these wooden boxes for $17 from a craft shop.
Okay.
But no shielding. So this is just
wow.
this is just for like
So
a
neat,
for a backboard.
so neat,
It's
so
called
neat.
flashing.
So
all right?
neat. Yeah.
This is a Yaesu 9 megahertz
Crystal
filter, right?
Okay. And then you
That a
got
friend
the
gave to me.
transformers to bring it down.
Right.
Those.
The impedance matching transformers.
These are all the 3.
Right, and you can see the each of them TIA amps, TIA.
Yeah.
As you know, this one's probably not necessary at the front end
Mhm.
on 40,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
still have it there, and I
Okay.
need to lower the gain.
Mm-hmm.
These are the plug-in filters.
Oh, so you could change the band with that?
I could just pop it out,
Oh, really?
and I could pop out the low-pass filter.
Right.
Right, so that was
Wow.
my idea, and you can see I've got like banana plugs down there, so they're
Right.
very easy to pull out. So
Oh, wow.
conceivably, I could make. I haven't done it yet, but I could make another filter for this one and this one. That would be fun. And then I use
Relays.
SBL ones for
Oh,
the
that's
mixers.
okay. Yeah. Where do you get these from? What are these?
Oh man, this is RG174 coax.
Right.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It always produces those little wires that fall
Yeah.
out. We call them Murphy's whiskers.
Worst is the
And,
they
and,
go around shorting.
and it
all over
melts,
the place,
and the
yeah.
dielectric melts,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're short.
Yeah.
And so I got a bunch of this. It's it's got a Teflon core, so it never
Okay,
melts.
it never melts.
Never melts.
Nor can you ever strip it.
No, well you can.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that as you can see, anytime you want it to ground, you just ground the outer
Right,
thing. You just ground it right there.
Exactly.
So I really like this stuff. I forget what the designation is. I have it up on the blog, but it's really
Okay.
really fun stuff.
Yeah.
I like that. But this is my favorite rig now, and I paid a lot of attention to the shielding back here.
True.
Yeah.
I think all homebrewers should make one rig for themselves, and I
Yeah.
think this is the one for you, right?
I like this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I like this one. Oh, I have an emotional attachment to the original.
Well
17 years.
engineered. You got the SMAs going in there.
Pete
Pete's-
insisted I do that. That was
Okay.
his influence. So as with so many things, but yeah, this one was a fun one. And this is like my main rig right now. I use this all the time, and it feeds into the amplifier.
Okay.
All right, this is the EB63A from Communications
Right,
Concepts.
right.
That
They
I
weren't there at the Hamvention. I thought I might pick one up.
Pete says I'll no longer be able to use this now
Why?
because
Okay,
I'm in the
because
QRP Hall of Fame.
Oh, where's that?
Oh,
I
yeah,
need
you can't forget that. Can't
Yeah,
forget
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But Pete says we can't use it, so I guess I'll have to be retiring this. So
yeah.
officially, I'm looking at the camera. Yeah,
Yeah.
I won't be using the EB63A anymore. But anyway, this is my main rig. It's on 40. 40 meters is in great shape. I use it with. I'll show this into a little bit here. Let me see. Oh, I got to turn the amplifier on. So to kick
What
it-
antennas
kick
do
it-
you have? You've got a Moxon for
17,
17?
which is not really much use
Yeah,
anymore.
okay.
But let's see. we put
And
this
then you
here.
have something on 40 and 20.
40 is dipole. 20 is a dipole too.
Okay.
But watch. Here, watch. I switched them all from here.
But do you have just one cable coming to one rig, or do you have multiple cables coming multiple ways?
Here's all the antennas. You select the antenna here,
Okay.
and then
You
you select
select
the
the
rig
rig
that it
here.
goes
Oh,
to.
wow.
So that's
Okay.
the way I do it.
Yeah, much
And then
easier.
the other thing I got, you might like this. I have it set so it only tunes on 1 kilohertz increments.
Oh,
and you can
okay.
set it any way you want. But here, everybody operates on
Yeah.
whole integers.
Oh,
So you might as well
yeah,
just
you channelize yourself.
get with the program, right?
Yeah, I copy it. November 8 Alpha, KA3 VFW. Go ahead.
Good audio.
That's
Very
right.
good audio.
Kind of narrow because the Yaesu filter is like a 2.1 kilosecond.
Right,
So
yeah.
for me, it's a little
Yeah,
tight,
yeah, yeah,
but it's
exactly.
fine. It's
We used to wider bandwidth. 3 kilohertz for me is the sweet spot.
what is?
3 kilohertz.
That's what I designed for 3 kilohertz. Yeah.
Started working my way out of the so I guess I am. Why don't you make another caller and then see if you, I don't know if anybody else.
This is a bad time for 42.
TT. In the middle of the day almost.
To watch here. Get on a CW portion. Not much activity down there either.
Yeah. It's a Sunday. People probably will come back after lunch on the weekend next or something.
But also absorption increases at this time, so 40 kind of slows
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
We'll pick up again in the
yeah.
evening probably.
Okay, doing very good. Yeah.
But I use it with the D104.
We don't think we're going to do a roll.
We share it.
Yeah, watch you. Watch how it works. I got it all hooked up. I can switch the output filters here
Okay.
and the input
Right.
here. Look at my
Okay.
QRP switch.
Oh, life on the other side of the switch.
Let's see. Hold on. Is the frequency in use?
Oh,
Is the frequency in use? This is N2CQR. Hello CQ, hello CQ, calling CQ. Hello CQ, calling CQ, hello CQ. CQ40. From N2CQR, November 2 Charlie, Quebec Radio. N2CQR calling CQ and standing by. Now.
Yeah.
Just as well, but you can see, I mean, that's, and I always like this because it gives me it's a quick and easy way to monitor what's happening, right?
true.
And if I put it on SWR and look at the
Yeah.
SWR, if it stays flat,
Right, then you're done.
then I'm doing all right. Right. So that's this one here. Now I know you.
So at that time, so I said, okay, I need to take something, and I don't know what to take there. So I thought I'd take the spectrum analyzer because that's entirely the Terry White, Wes Hayward spectrum analyzer.
yeah.
So I actually got that to show to him. If you have a flathead screwdriver, I can actually
Yeah, sure. What kind
open
of
up
need?
and show
What
you
kind
the.
of need? Let's see here.
Okay, there you go. I'm using these screws all the time that I open it up. I think last time Hans was looking at it, so
Let's
he
see.
wanted
If
to.
anything's missing, we'll blame hands.
Yeah, of course. Tall man. I nicked him Tall Man at FDIM, so everybody was calling him Tall Man. So this is essentially a dual conversion receiver. It's actually very simple inside, right? It's actually a spectrum analyzer is usually simpler than it actually appears. So that's the input here.
All right.
So that goes in here. There's a low pass filter. It's a 4-section low pass filter, which cuts off at 70 megahertz, right? And then you have an AD1 mixer.
Nice shielding.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nice. It's necessary,
Yeah.
right? Without it, this thing won't work. And this is the same sheet that you used in your.
Yeah. Right.
So then this is the SI570.
Right.
just much lower phase
Right.
noise, which is
Right.
very important here.
Right.
And this is amplified through an MEV11 mimic. Not required actually. If you're using a CMOS thing, it can directly drive the AD1. Then there is a post-mix amplifier. Because it's at 110, you again use another MEV11. Again, not required. You could have just used an attenuator pad because noise figure is of no consequence really in a spectrum analyzer. It's perfectly fine to skip that. Right? Then inside this is the VHF bandpass filter. It's just air coils, 3 air coils, something
Right.
similar to that,
Right.
and capacitors. Then that's followed by the second mixer here with a 100 megahertz oscillator. This is actually a 20 megahertz microprocessor crystal on the fifth harmonic, which mixes here. So this is 112. It comes down to 12.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that comes to these 2 parallel filters you can see with the relays here.
Yeah.
So this is a 5-pole filter. Okay.
It's not a lot of fun when they get where you start working in there. It's that small.
Yeah.
It's,
No. You first make it outside, then
Yeah,
you
I know.
put the shield around it, right?
Yeah.
And this is a very narrow crystal filter. So what I had to do was that it's three filters of 3 crystals each
Wow. Okay.
with buffer amplifiers in between.
All right.
Right. So then the peak is very narrow. So now it's so narrow that I can actually see intermodulation of an SSB transmitter inside the passband itself.
Wow. So you're just looking at one little, like in that diagram, you could look at the 1 kc
Yeah.
signal.
So there's 1.6 kc and there's 400 hertz.
Right.
Right. So those 2 peaks and the distortion peaks.
Wow.
So it can actually resolve them all because
Wow.
it's that narrow. So it passes through that, and then there is another IF amplifier to up the signal to the level of the power meter, which is the 8307.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. And then the DC of it comes back to the Arduino.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the Arduino is, so you actually don't even need a display here. You can actually read the stuff off here. You can tune from here.
And see what
Yeah.
what is, does it read out in DBM?
Yeah. In DBM, and what we have done is there's a separate calibration because there are 2 filters, right? So there are 2 signal paths,
Right.
and the LC is actually more lossier than the crystal filter because there are buffer amplifiers in between.
Wow.
So the Arduino takes care when it switches to adjust for the gain. So you have a direct readout here in DBM of whatever you're feeding in, and then you can of course connect this to a PC and get a scan there.
Beautiful. Yeah. This shows up on a lot of rigs these days. Like.
Yeah.
Well, that's beautiful.
So it's pretty simple, but it's an amazing piece of instrument to have in your lab.
You've
It
been
completely
encouraging me.
changes-
You've encouraged me to build.
Yeah.
I want to.
And I've given up.
He's given up, and he's given. Farhan brought me a spectrum analyzer. All right, I don't want to drop that.
Yeah. So this is a 500 megahertz spectrum analyzer,
Wow.
right? So this is where you set the central frequency. It's actually pretty neat. See that?
That is beautiful.
Right. So this is where you set the central frequency,
All right.
and this is the fine thing that you can tune with this, and then this is where you do the span,
Yeah.
and this is the resolution.
This is going to keep me out of jail. Keep me out of keep the FCC truck from showing up on the
Right,
front steps.
Right.
Well, great.
So the attenuator for the input.
All right.
And it actually has built-in battery. So this was supposed to be a portable unit,
Wow.
but
Good
you just
connection,
feed
too.
the DC in.
Yeah,
And
beautiful. Well, thank you very much. That's going to be a big addition to the shack.
Yeah.
All right, you got some other stuff here too. Let's
Right. So
put this over here.
this is actually the simple stuff.
Is this a
This is the
Sweperino?
Sweperino. Yeah, this is Sweperino.
Wow, beautiful. So what do you do with Sweperino?
So,
Let's see.
Do you have a 12 volt that I can plug into this? Do you have a power supply like that?
Yeah, but I'm worried
No,
about.
that's
blowing
fine.
it up.
That's fine. Okay. So it's pretty simple. Arduino with a display attached,
Right.
and there's an SI570
Mhm.
with a pad to make it strong 50 ohms coming out, and then there is the West Hayward power meter,
Yeah.
which is connected to that. So essentially, this is a fairly handy thing where I can use it as a signal generator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this tunes everywhere, and you just hold to the side for it to get to whatever frequency you want to if it's outside the immediate range. So it's a signal generator, and it's also detector, and it can also sweep,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I connect it through micro USB to my PC, and then I can do the sweep. So the same software that I use for my spectrum analyzer.
Beautiful. Wow.
So it's small, and I can connect a return loss bridge here and use it as an antenna analyzer.
Terrific.
You know, something
Good.
that works
Great.
both ways.
Good stuff. And now, this is it. This is the latest sensation.
Yes, the micro BITX.
Micro BITX. Yeah, uBITX. You don't want to lose these screws.
You know, I've standardized on 50 ohms and these flathead M3 screws everywhere. You know, I don't use anything else at all.
I got a whole thing of 440 screws.
Yeah.
Everything 440.
Yeah.
But I admit I haven't standardized the heads. So whatever the 440 screw.
Okay,
is.
right. You know, I was so nervous showing this to Wes that I was trying to pull out the Arduino and I actually yanked it out, so it's loose. I have to solder it back, so it will not work right now because it's come out. But probably if you have some time, I can solder it here, I can get back home and do it.
Yeah,
You know,
I
my
understand.
whole idea was to kill the FT817. You know, it's a trusty old rig at home, but you know, I just
But
hate it on my
You
bench
didn't
because-
build it because so
Yeah, exactly.
See, this is we got the similar ways of thinking here.
I've been trying to kill it for years. Finally, I think.
So you'll find it a good home, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, look at that. All right, the next generation of BITX,
That's on. So
dual conversion.
yeah, that's the 30 megahertz low pass filter, and it directly goes to a mixer here.
Mm-hmm.
BAT54 S diodes, very cheap, balanced. So in one pack you get two diodes back to back of sorts, right?
Right.
Balanced. So I use that here. That's the first of the SI5351 outputs that coming in here, and it converts to 45 megahertz. This is the TIAs, two TIAs. Right. Actually, it's made pretty much the same way that Pete would make it, right? Except that I have soldered the
Right, the little,
assemblies across.
yeah, with the little squares. Yeah,
But they're the same squares, right?
Right.
So these are the two amplifiers. Yeah. No, these, yeah. And then it goes to 45 megahertz triple tuned circuit. And then it goes to the second mixer, again fed by the 5351 at 57 megahertz.
Wow.
So that puts it down to 12. These are the amplifiers at 12, and then it goes to a fairly strong filter. You can see there are quite a few crystal filters there, but actually the last two ones are doubled up.
I saw that on the schematic, yeah.
And then I have these two transformers which transform 50 to 200 here.
Right.
And then it directly goes to a diode demodulator. There's no need for more amplification. There's already enough amplification in there.
Great.
So then you have the audio chain with a simple AGC this time. And this is the power amplifier. So the power amplifier used push-pull and with just two low-pass filters, but it's not working too well. So I'm actually I've revised this to 4 low-pass filters, unfortunately, which means more relays. But I thought it would be a neat thing to actually just have one relay switching over two low-pass filters by nulling out the even harmonics. Now the trick is this: even harmonics can be nulled out, but not across the band. Right? So I can, for example, null out 3.5 megahertz harmonic at 7 by carefully adjusting this bias. But when I go to 14, it's gone off again. Right? So that's the tricky part. But otherwise, it's a small thing. You know, it's got 10 watts out. You can carry it with you to the field.
And it seems like you've made a lot of progress from the other. I heard you talking to Bob Crane about the difficulties with the what was the other one right after the BITX,
the Minima.
The Minima, right, yeah.
You know, I think Minima's receiver is one of the best I've ever made, but unfortunately the transmitter is not. Or probably you should do
the Minima's receiver.
Yeah, Minima's receiver and do a different transmitter. Maybe that combination would work. But I mean, you know, if I need a rig at home, it would be that.
This is beautiful. I feel like I'm holding like a piece of history. I remember the original pictures of your BITX.
BITX, yeah.
The iconic pictures, yeah.
You know, the BITX board has collapsed, so I couldn't get it. Otherwise, I would have got the original BITX itself.
What do you mean the board has collapsed?
Well, I kept something on it, and you know that. If you remember, there was no top to it.
Right. Yeah.
the thing imploded.
Yeah, get the screws back here.
That's the stuff I've been lugging around. And
Well, Farhan's put the screws on. I'm going to show you this beautiful key that he brought me. Look at this. perfect. It's just a perfect thing right after the induction into the QRP Hall of Fame, because I think now we have an obligation to do more CW. I think it's just the
I think
right
you should
thing.
build a transceiver right there.
That is fantastic. That's beautiful. And who made this for him?
VU3XVR. So he makes these really fabulous keys in India. You can look him up on qrz.com, and if any of you guys want more of these keys, he makes them.
The VU3XVR.
Yeah, VU3XVR, and this is all hand polished, by the way. It's hand machined and hand polished.
This is the nicest key I've ever had. This is great.
It's got this stuff, which
connectors and all. Yeah.
Connectors and all that.
All right, I'm feeling the urge to get out there with 5 watts or less on CW.
You better do that.
I better do that.
Yeah.
George Dobbs is going to be after me, and my special dispensation is going to be revoked. Thanks a lot for that. And then we got to put on screws for the.
Yeah. Screws. Lost some of these screws. I was also trying to make a tracking generator, but I don't think it should be in the same box, because the tracking generator leaks directly into the receiver's signal chain, and that actually creates a lot of problems. So just put 2 screws diagonally across and be done. The spectrum analyzer actually changes the way you think of signals. You no longer think of them as waves up and down, but you think of them, on the frequency domain, and that really helps, because if you see a sine wave, right, you'd never know the harmonics unless they are at least, just about 10 dB below the fundamental. Whereas on this, you know exactly what's happening. For example, a mixer output, it makes no sense to see it on an oscilloscope at all.
Right.
So it's like seeing something on a voltmeter and then later on seeing it on an oscilloscope. It's a whole different world. I just want to rebuild this with an Arduino display inbuilt, so that I don't have to depend on a PC to see the entire thing.
So what kind of display would you use?
I would use just a quarter VGA display. That's good enough.
Really?
Yeah, because what I realized while doing these scans is that 300 points is pretty good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 300 points is 320.
Right.
Right across. So that's a quarter VGA.
So we just paint you the.
Yeah. That's
okay.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. This came up because on the blog somebody put a kind of a simple version that they had done, and they weren't only able to use a limited number of points, but there was a way to use some of the software available in the Arduino to get additional points. And somebody from Australia chimed in and told us how to do that. Yeah, it's on that. Let's see. Well, I'll show you later.
Okay.
All right. Let me turn this thing off here, because we've done enough recording of history. There you go.